what were the reasonings to not classify the reef as in danger?
It's a pleasure to join you, Janie, and the committee unanimously endorsed Australia's position and absolutely took out the in danger wording from what was the draft decision and is now the final decision, because it simply did not make sense to have this listing without a site visit. The technical committee hasn't been here since 2012, without adequate consultation. There's usually a long period of discussion between the state party and UNESCO before any endangered listing is made, and without the latest science. So that case was well made, well supported, and we're absolutely delighted that in standing up for the reef communities and the reef economy, we are also showcasing what I will say is the best managed reef in the world, notwithstanding the pressure that it is under from climate change.
Well, some of the climate outlook is showing the sea surface temperatures. They're set to be 0.5 to 1.5 degrees above average between now and 6 months over the Great Barrier Reef. We have a history here in Australia of marine heat waves, one of now which is off the coast of Tasmania, in fact impacting oyster farming. Warmer water is known to cause mass coral bleaching. These types of stats didn't convince them?
Look, that warmer water does cause coral bleaching and it is of concern. But what that picks up is the global challenge of climate change. Australia cannot unilaterally change the trajectory of the whole world's emissions. We can play our part under the Paris Agreement, and we are. But what the delegates said last night was, why would Australia be singled out for what is a global challenge? The actions of Australia in terms of our climate policy, unfortunately, can't make a unilateral difference to those ocean temperatures that you noted. The world has to act together. The world has to act cooperatively together within the World Heritage Convention as well. And actually, it was Australia who was quite forward-leaning in saying to the convention, to the committee a few years ago, we need to find a way that treats all properties the same when it comes to climate change and recognises the effect on World Heritage properties. Some of them are natural, like the Great Barrier Reef. Some of them are buildings, like so many of the European monuments that are also before the committee in this meeting. We have to be consistent and we have to be fair.
Sussan Ley, you have convinced 12 backers of the motion to hold off on the decision until 2022. So what needs to be done between now and then to change the outcome?
Actually, it was more than 12, Jamie. We went into the meeting with 12 co-sponsors of our amendment. But when you listen to the discussion around the table, there was broad agreement. Only one country out of the 21 actually didn't agree, and even they went along with the consensus. So, that's an incredibly strong message about what Australia is doing, what Australia can and cannot be responsible for as one country when it comes to the global challenge of climate change. We will keep doing what we've always done, investing $3 billion on the reef, on land, for our reef communities, making sure that we build the most healthy and resilient reef that we can in the face of global climate change. And I want to say, for the 29 other reefs that are also on the World Heritage books, we want to share our science. We're part of an international coral reef initiative that does that, because, we are the reef that, yes, we are a global icon. Yes, we are under pressure from climate change, but we're doing so well in building that resilience. And it's our reef communities that are doing that. And $3 billion spent by us and the Queensland government will continue to work hard.
Let's change topics, and you are the Federal Environment Minister and also MP for Farrer, which covers the far southwestern area of New South Wales. How concerned are you during these recent lockdowns across the country for residents, businesses and the economy?
Well, we've had peculiar circumstances on the border because we have Victorian and New South Wales communities that effectively are one and cross that border many times. The first lockdown was really difficult because that factor wasn't well recognised, but now we have what we call the border bubble. As long as that stays in place, to some degree, this is manageable. It's very, very difficult, But checkpoints on the Murray River, 34 checkpoints that we had at one stage, stopping residents from going to work, going to family, going home was absolutely dreadful. There's been some learning since then. But of course, for regional Australia, we know that we've got great opportunities and a great economy, if you like, that's working well, and we don't want to put that at risk. But we also know that we're a tourism destination. And when you have lockdowns that prevent people coming to our beautiful, iconic tourism sites along the northern side of the Murray, that hurts our people. So, yes, like everyone in Australia, I'm concerned. And I want to deliver a very strong message to my communities, which is that please get vaccinated. Just because you live in regional Australia doesn't mean the threat is not there.
Certainly has been a strong message today. Thank you very much, Federal Environment Minister Sussan Ley. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.